Hello everybody and welcome to the Creative Smartphone Photography Show. From me, Sab here in Paris. A chilly Paris, I have to tell you. It's a chilly place, chilly night, chilly all round. So there's the weather forecast because the weather report, because that's what British people do. Tell you what the weather's like, as though you would want to know. You might want to know what my photos are like and what your photographs are like. That's what we're going to look at tonight. We're going to look at my latest photographs. We're going to look at your latest photographs. Anything you've posted in the group, and especially the theme. And the theme this week was funky frames. So we're going to check out some of your funky frames, see what you've been up to. So how are you doing? You know, do say hello in the chat if you're there. Always nice to have some comments, some viewers, some interaction. That's what it's about. Alice was asking me for a list of, I'm just waiting for some of you to come along. Alice was asking me for a list of everything I do so that she could know, well, everything I do, I suppose. And I haven't done it yet, but I'm thinking about it. I think she was, if you hear that sound, it's me scraping my heart mug. And we're going to look at lots of photographs in a minute, by the way, just in case you think I'm just going to ramble for an hour. I've got other shows where I ramble for an hour. Don't need to do it here. Yeah, so Alice was asking me for... Say hello, by the way, if you come along. I'd love to know who you are, know that you're there. She was asking me for a list of everything I do online so that she knows where to catch me and where to avoid me, probably. Lovely. I'm on decaf. Have been for a long time. Went into Paris 2 days ago. Got a couple of shots. I'm going to show you today, in a minute, my latest... It's really, we're not supposed to leave our house. I mean, we can leave, but there's these restrictions. One of the restrictions is you're not supposed to go more than 20 kilometers from your place, and it's supposed to be for exercise or something like that, or a serious reason like work or, you know, hospital or something. But I just wanted to go into Paris for a while, you know, see a friend, take some pictures, and I felt like a criminal. I thought I was going to be, you know, the police were going to come and get me. Anyway. That's me. Hello, if you've just joined. This is Sab in Paris, and you are watching the Creative Smartphone Photography Show. And this is where I look at photographs, yours and mine. Shall we start? Let's do that. Heading over to the Smartphone Photography group. It's looking like this at the moment, with a lot of notifications for some reason. Right, so going to chug through this from the top. And there's the funky theme. If you want to know what the group looks like, it looks like that. Here's the funky theme, funky frames. And the idea was, I think it was from Alice, was it? Often it's from Chris or from Alice. Post your creatively framed subjects with a short comment or question to make it fun. So we had a whole bunch of fun comments. I just want to go back and honour the people who won last week. I mean, it's not exactly winning, but you know, it's like just honour the people who contributed last week. And so here it is, this week's winners from last week. The theme was Must Be Rusty. The photographs were superb, honestly. I mean, why would I lie to you? And I've got Facebook user saying, hi Sab, I don't know who you are, maybe you're Yaruska. I'll just tell you the good old thing if you want to go to, if I can find it. If you go to streamyard.com/Facebook and let them just say yes, I can see who you are, or you can just tell me, just so you know. All right, and we've got hang on, let's just get rid of that again. It's not the most beautiful thing to have on the screen. Add another hello from Facebook user. So a couple of people, I don't know who you are, I'm afraid, so you have to tell me if you want me to call you by name. So this was last week's the faves. I mean, they were all wonderful. It was Rusty. It was such a cool theme. And we had photographs from Angela, from Rob, from Thomas, from Alice, Yaruska, Hazel. Oh, I didn't label Hazel properly. And from Chris. And everyone's were wonderful, but I did highlight a few. There they are. This one just blew my mind from Angela. Really great shot. This was Rob's Nutcracker. Makes your eyes water, doesn't it? Close up on a strange device from yesterday. No, actually he made it in his metalwork class as a kid, I think. Amazing rusty cross from Thomas. Lovely snowman on the tree made out of sort of scrap metal from Alice. very seasonal. This was Yoruska, I think. Lovely shot of just utter rust. It's like rust being held together by holes, isn't it? And oh, this was Hazel, I think, relatively new member who contributes, and it's the base of some sort of post or something. Really great colours there. So those were the people I honoured from last week, apart from everyone else. And now we're going to chug into today's. Well, actually, I'm going to tell you something a little bit off subject for a second, and that is, let me take my got Chris here. Hello, Chris. And Teresa is saying hello was me. Okay, thanks, Teresa. Great. And Thomas is here as well. The old crew. What hassles, what stress, what's the word I'm looking for? What grief are you going to give me tonight, I wonder? Well, I don't think Despin is here yet, so she isn't going to say anything about my pullover or when was the last time she saw me wearing this. I did want to say something very quickly, word from our sponsors, and that is that my next masterclass is now up and being promoted. I've just put it up yesterday, and I'll take literally 30 seconds, promise. And it's in the same style as my other masterclasses, the writing and the photography. It's 9 weeks, but you bring your own creative project. I don't know what it is. That's going to be the fun thing. Everyone will have a different creative project. Could be anything. Make sure that you've got an idea in mind what it'll be. Cover it in it. We'll in the first week we'll hone down to make sure that you can do it in 9 weeks, and then we go for it. So basically, there's 2 parts to this wonderful masterclass, and that is, the first is you get an amazing creative project done in the 9 weeks. You bring the project. I don't know what it is. The second thing is we go deeply into all the wonders of being creative and being productive. So not just having great ideas, but getting them into the world so that we can share them. I guess that wasn't 30 seconds, was it? And we've got Despina. Hi Sab, Despina, oh my God. And I did notice your brand new sweater. Oh, I think you must have got the StreamYard site because I can see your name. Yeah, I'm not saying it's brand new, but I found it in the cupboard, so there we go. Anyway, that probably isn't why you're here. So let's go to the funky frames theme. Here we go. We've got 19 comments, so let's check them out. This was me to get the ball rolling. Got Thomas here. Sorry I didn't make any frame shots, but I really like the ones I've seen. Yep, no problem. It'll just make the show shorter. Because I won't be able to find anything to fill in with. You know me, I'm not very good at talking. Lots of awkward silences when you're with me. This one, I had a couple of comments. Angela said, wow, it's awesome, Sab. Now this was a very nice, very good comment. It's awesome, Sab. I don't mean that bit. I mean, this guy has to go to the dentist to save the only one tooth that is left. It's so funny, isn't it? It really does look like one little tooth sticking up. Check this out, though. I mean, this is Paris's Q Ramble. This is... sorry, you got Pat saying hi. Hi, Pat from Chicago. And hi, Dorothy. Wonderful. You don't have to be doing my masterclass to come on the show, you know. You can be someone else. This, I mean, I must admit, you know, I kind of like Paris, and it's got some really exceptional cemeteries. It's got Père Lachaise, which is stunning. It's got Montmartre. This isn't Montmartre. This is Montparnasse, and it's got Montmartre. Those 3 cemeteries in particular they're big enough and amazing enough. They have some pretty wild sculptures. So this is on a tombstone, a sort of mirror bird. I think it's something to do. There's an artist who does this stuff, obviously, and I don't know if it was her. I think it's a her. It's grave, or she did it for someone else. Anyway, pretty stunning. And I've got a feeling what I just told you is complete crap. But anyway, this is the horrendous Montparnasse Tower. The only cool thing about the Montparnasse Tower, which is it's not in the middle of Paris, but it's kind of, the only cool thing about it is that if you go to the top of it and look out, you can't see the Montparnasse Tower. Well, actually, I mean, you've got a good view from the top as well, but I don't think that's worth its existence. Anyway, let's go into the the photographs proper. Alice, what's she doing here? Looking through a drain pipe or something? Oh, look at those. You've got, I must admit, I haven't really watched what was posted here. Taken during Halloween time, enjoyed it very much. That's cool. Orange through orange. Like it. What are these? Some sort of, looks like a roof or roof tiles. Or maybe it's a wall made with these funky tool things. Like it. Where's the focus on that? The focus is kind of strange. I'm trying to work out where the focus is. It looks like this bit in the top left is in focus. The edge of this tunnel thing is in focus. That's interesting. I wonder what I would have put in focus. I guess because the end of this curved tile is in focus, it makes it a very sharp frame for whatever's through it, which is interesting. Having said that, what about if you put the thing nearest this in focus, this side? Then that would have been pretty hard hitting, but that's not the focus of the photo, is it? The focus of the photo is what's at the end of the tunnel. So you could also have tried to focus on the pumpkins. That would have been another option. So that's an interesting one there. Maybe if Alice is around, she can tell us. Laugh on your tower joke. Yeah, it's a classic, isn't it? It's a classic. It's an eyesore. It's a classic. Okay, great stuff. So tell us where you intended to focus on there. But anyway, it's just a cool shot. Oh, good grief. Why didn't I look before I showed you this? It's me. It's me in in Paris, looking through a Wallace fountain. I think I was demonstrating a shot for Alice, or Alice asked me to do it or something. It's quite cool to get shots through the Wallace fountains of someone drinking. And that's Janie there on the left, I think, either hiding or trying to peek out. And we're in front of a rather famous bookshop called Shakespeare and Company. And there's my favourite brand. Other inferior, less excellent camera brands are available. And Chris says, okay, these ladies get around. This is amazing because it's in Wisconsin. Yeah, I think the guy who did these, called Wallace, Richard Wallace, he contributed a whole bunch of these fountains to the poor people of Paris when they didn't have clean drinking water. And in fact, it wasn't just Paris. There's a few of them sort of studied around the world, actually, which is pretty cool. And sometimes they were presents from Paris to other parts, and sometimes they were literally just direct to the source. So that wasn't actually a frame; it was a kind of chiming in. And here's Jean. We've got Angela. Hi, Angela. We've got some nice photographs from you to come up, and you haven't missed them as well, which is excellent. This is really nice, isn't it? It looks like you're playing with your fisheye lens there, framing Linus the cat. Hello, Linus the cat. Linus the cat looks beautiful and quite interested to what this strange human is doing. And that's a pretty cool lens. You know, I even talked in the masterclass about these really cheap lens packs that you can get on Amazon. It's ridiculous. It's something like $25 or something. And you get a whole bunch of lenses. Obviously the quality, I just can't quite believe how they do it, but they're lenses and fancy things you pop on the over your iPhone lens, and you can do cool stuff. And I haven't got one, and I don't know why. Just haven't got round to it. So that's nice. Like it. What's this? This is another one. Oh, look at this. That's so great as well. That's so cute. I wonder if it'd be funny if she couldn't get her head back out, wouldn't it? Then you'd hear from her. Okay, those are cool. Angela, you see, that was well timed, Angela. You came along just before your photographs, so that you didn't have to sort of suffer any of these other sort of. No, I'm joking, of course. So what have we got here? So I'm going to have to read it on the other screen. Sorry. I'll introduce you to my left ear. 48 kilometers from Thessaloniki is a beautiful beach called Shipwreck because of a shipwreck. No, that occurred in 1974. I think I might have seen it, possibly, because I went to Thessaloniki once. Don't ask why. It wasn't to see Angela. But if she invites me Just putting it out there. Just putting it out there. That's all I'm saying. A small merchant ship sank very close to shore and was pulled out to sea, out by the sea in shallow water. I often visit this beach for swimming in the clear blue waters. Wow. Oh my God, yeah. I mean, the beaches and stuff in Greece, wonderful. The whole wreck fits inside my shell. Yeah, must be a very, very small wreck then. Or a very big shell. Gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And Vespina, a mirror as frame. This is kind of one of Vespina's specialities, actually. I'm going to show you in a minute one of my photographs. I think it's today's, actually, and maybe one from last week. I'm turning black and white because Vespina is having a theme in December. She's gone black and white, and I'm stealing her idea. So I'm trying to get a few more black and white shots into my repertoire. Just looking at this straight away, I haven't got a clue what it is. Now looking more closely, it looks like almost a person holding a baby or something, a couple holding a baby. A mirror as a frame. So there's a mirror, I guess there's the frame there. But then that's the reflection of that. So basically I don't know what's going on. But it's an interesting shot. What's this looking through to? Don't get it. Don't know what's going on. This looks like a small ornament of a couple holding a baby in swaddling or something. Swathed in swaddling. Is that English? Like it. It's intriguing. From Angela. In quarantine, I create themes inside the home and Christmas always inspires me. Good for you. Trying to work out what's framed. Well, I can see what's framed. You must have some sort of decoration or something. Or maybe you've created this. Did you embroider it? This looks like it's some sort of cloth. Cute, very cute. A couple of Father Christmas like dog type things there. And Chitty Chitty Bang Bang is here. Yeah, Christmas is coming. Do you have Chitty Chitty Bang Bang in Greece as well as a sort of standard Christmas film? Is it a Christmas film? This Chitty Chitty is my husband's old toy. We love watching this movie and Mary Poppins 2 on Christmas. Yeah, there's a new Mary Poppins movie now, isn't there? There's a Mary Poppins 2, which is scary because it's such a classic. You wonder what on earth could they do. In the end, I watched it and I appreciated it. You know, I saw what they tried to do. It can't compare to the original. It's impossible when a film is that, that famous. For a second one to come along, what do? They repeat the story exactly and hope that people don't notice, or do something completely different and have people saying, comparing it unfavourably to the original. So I think what they did was as good as they could do, and I think it was quite a nice film. Hey, I just decided not to break into my rendition of Feed the Birds, Tuppence a Bag, which always makes me weep. So I spared you that. So I hope sometimes we moan when something bad is happening, like you've got a bad throat, but you don't celebrate when you don't have a bad throat, do you? When it kills you to swallow, then you remember you have a throat, but you're not walking around every day saying, I'm glad I've got a throat that doesn't hurt me. I'm glad I've got legs that don't hurt me. I'm glad my back doesn't hurt. So there you go. So celebrate the fact that I didn't sing. And it's a bonus, it doesn't cost any more. What's this? This is our lovely old toy. It is a lovely old toy, and it is framed by something kind of. Yeah, okay. Nice green background, a shelf, I guess. With the wings. God, I must watch that again sometime. Here's Chris looking at the... I think you're showing off now. Looking at the Grand Canyon through a mountain cave, question mark? Well, I don't know. You know, not me. Is that the Grand Canyon? It's very spectacular, whatever it is. Or maybe it's a photograph of the Grand Canyon and you've, I don't know, wrapped a towel and made a picture through a towel or something. Because there is a question mark there. Pretty cool. Never been to the Grand Canyon, would like to go. Let me get some interaction going here. What can I ask you? If there's a place in the world you'd love to go to photograph, what would it be? Not in your, let's say not in your country, another country, a place you would love to go because you think the photography would be amazing. Where would you go? Where would it be? And then I'll think of something and tell you what mine is. Chris, peeking at the last of the fall flowers. Oh wow, that almost looks like a dandelion, but I take your word for it. Is a dandelion? Well, a dandelion is a... If this was a dandelion which has lost its petals, it is a flower indeed, yeah. But I imagine it isn't a dandelion actually. I think it's probably something else. What is this frame you've got here? It's amazing. It seems like the same, bizarrely similar to the alleged cave that you were photographing the Grand Canyon through, Chris. Could you be playing a trick on us here? Like it. Slap bang in the middle, which is one option. Another option would be slightly off to some side or other. I'm just wondering what other options you could do with this. If you have any ideas, let me know. So Despina would go to Barcelona. Okay, fair enough. That's what I asked. What would you like to photograph in Barcelona? You know, tell me the thing and why. Just a bit of interaction. Why would you? What is there something in your mind? I've got something definitely in Barcelona that is amazing. What would you like to photograph in Barcelona? Why do you think that would be a great place to go? And the same for you others. So Diane, hello Diane. Diane says Australia. What would you love to photograph in Australia, Diane? And there's been a Barcelona. Iceland. I guess you're saying Iceland. I don't think it's spelt like that. I think Iceland is actually somewhere I would love to go. You know, it's... To be honest, I'd like to go there because it's away from the rest of the world. I'd like to see what that would be like, rather than just going to like New York or Hong Kong or Moscow, which would be amazing. I quite fancy going to a country that is so far away from the rest of the world it's not true, and see what they're up to. Teresa would like to go to Russia. Same question. What would you like to photograph in particular in Russia? Me playing tricks, says Chris. Yes, you playing tricks, Chris. Yes, that's right. Facebook user, Barcelona will be a big Gaudi. Yeah, I don't know who you are, Facebook user. That's what I had in mind. Gaudi, the amazing architect who did stuff a bit like the thing I showed you earlier of that mosaic type thing in the cemetery. Gaudi has created an entire park and entire buildings with this crazy style. Amazing. Parc Güell, and all of Gaudi's buildings and the streets near the aquarium. Okay, yeah, there's some interest. Oh, right, yeah. Maybe Las Ramblas. No. Barceloneta. I think there's a place called Barceloneta. And it's with an Italian accent. And it's really narrow streets with tall buildings. You could almost shake hands across the way and really spooky. It's really cool. Diane would go to the beaches in Australia. You'd go to Australia to photograph the beaches or just to lie on the beach? I wonder. And there's been Dorothy says nature, right? Nature in Iceland. I think it's spectacular. Yeah. And, I'm glad I asked actually. Machu Picchu. Talk to Yaruska. She's from Peru. I would love so much to go. And so much interesting place for photographs. Yeah, I think it would be a dream for photographers, that area, as well as a very sort of spiritual type of place as well. Big Gaudi in German. Oh, maybe it's Thomas. A big Gaudi in German. Eine große Gaudi. A big fun. I'm not sure if there's a rude connotation in there. You've got a big Gaudi. I don't know. Anyway, and Las Ramblas. Yes. Okay, good. Thanks for playing, people. Let me move on. Keep sending them in if you're still thinking. Pat says, "Oh, you are still thinking. Let me move on a second, and I'll come back to your comments. Keep them coming in." So Chris is taking photographs of things through a toilet roll, I think. I don't. Well, it's interesting, isn't it? What do you think this is? Despina says, "You are my vote tonight." I'm not sure if that's an old... Yeah, it's an old comment. Very interesting. Indeed. It looks like some sort of celestial cherries floating around in very blue space. Weird. Didn't expect anything less from Chris. Okay, there we go. And that is it for tonight. That is our framed stuff. Maybe I should have promoted it a little bit more, or maybe it was tricky. Maybe people were, wasn't quite as easy as rust as a theme. So have a look through those and decide what your faves are, or be thinking about it. And I'm going to show you some of my photographs now. Just quickly look at your comments. Machu Picchu, I don't know how to say it. Take a picture of the sun rising, beautiful. If you want a beautiful song that goes with the rising sun, or just to wake up to, check out Sun Rising by The Beloved. The sun rising, it's just a stunning track to space out to. Sorry Sab, don't know why I'm not shown as Thomas. Okay, well, I think you might get kicked out of the StreamYard thing every now and then, every few weeks or months. So you just need to go back and go to streamyard.com/Facebook and accept, and you'll be back in for a few weeks or a few months. That occasionally happens. Yeah. Okay, and in Peru, I would love to go to the Rainbow Mountains. Go and visit Yaruska as well. She lives in Lima, which is actually a nice city. Why did I say actually? I don't know. Love to go to the Rainbow Mountains. Is that where they are? Yeah. Oh my God. If you look up Rainbow Mountains on Google, it's incredible. These mountains, which are striped with all sorts of different colours. Really amazing. It's a bit like sometimes you get those, there's some beaches with lots of different coloured rocks, and you can buy an ornament and it has lots of layers of different coloured sand. And those Rainbow Mountains, unless they've played with the special effects, bumped up the colour, they look like that. That's what I was telling you about. Gaudi stuff looks a bit like this. Just an excuse to show you my photograph again. So there's that, and there's this. So this was last week's pictures, and I've got two new ones. So theoretically, I can't believe I still haven't talked about these three here. These ones here, have I? Have I not talked about these on this show? I honestly can't remember. Am I going mad? 62. I think it's true. So the pronunciation says Despina. So a Greek person telling a British person how to pronounce a Peruvian name. Let's see how that works out, shall we? Machu Picchu. Okay. They've got a drink as well, pretty cool drink called something. Is it like that? Pisco sour. I always remember. And it's a bit like Greece and Turkey. They argue over who invented the kebab, and I do like Turkish delight. Turkish delight, it's Greek delight. That pink sort of squishy stuff. I think they call it lokum. And it's the same in Peru and Chile. They argue about who invented the pisco sour, which is slightly off topic. My other location would be Japan. Photograph everything. Everything. Wow. Yeah, I think that would be an amazing location. Both the busy cities, the temples, all sorts of stuff. So I'm kind of nervous that I've shown you these before, but theoretically let me just check. So 27th. No, you see, I knew I was talking nonsense. It's wrong. This is wrong. I should be on something else. You thought you were going to have to sit through the same pictures again, but no. Also get rid of this. That's more like it. Oof. So this is my this is this week's chapter, and there's two more to come. So the ones you haven't seen, or maybe haven't, are the last 5 and then the next 2. And just going from the middle, this is a leaf. Enough said about that. Well, I did imagine it as nature's hand reaching out to us with weathered veins and stuff to give us a second chance. But anyway, you can read the text if you want to know more about that. Exceptionally, I decided to have 3 photographs which are linked, explicitly linked in this chapter. And they were the little girl in the top left, the middle right, and the bottom middle. And as you can see, there are people running, kids running in all of them. There's a man running as well in the bottom one. But what's interesting is if you want to do this, don't have them all the same. So as well as having the theme of the person running in all three, not the same person, you've also got completely different takes on the subject. I'm kind of lucky because it's an interesting place. I've got it on my doorstep, as it were. But having said that, there's no excuse for being lazy. So make sure wherever you are, you can take any subject and take 9 shots of it or 3 shots of it differently. That's a challenge. Try it. So I did get 3 different shots, 3 different takes on them basically. And there's no point me describing them. You can see perfectly well what I've done. Some of the pillars are like that. There are some that are really big as well, so I thought I would dominate the left-hand side of the shot and the middle with a huge close-up of a pillar, and then you can see lots of other versions of it in the distance, which is nice. It's a nice thing to do. You've got near and far, you've got big and small, you've got sharp and slightly fuzzy, you've got detail and no detail. So there's a few things playing there with to make this photograph more interesting than your normal tourist snap, in my humble opinion. And this was great as well. You can see I haven't really moved anywhere. You can see what I'm doing. The first shot, basically I took these all from the same place. I just moved my camera slightly and possibly my legs. And I came across this one, this poor old pillar in a desperate state of, well, it's peeling, isn't it? The poor old pillar is peeling. So in my text, which you might like to read, I imagined that we should start a free hugs for pillars, because trees get all the attention, don't they? People are always hugging trees, going on about hugging trees and stuff. And I saw this pillar and I thought, come on guys, give the pillars some TLC. I wouldn't actually, I'm glad they have, cordoned it off, because you wouldn't want one of those solid slabs of marble landing on your foot, would you? Or on your kid's foot. And there you go. You can see, you get glimpses of people in masks, so there's a bit of zeitgeist, a bit of spirit of the times in these photographs, and there's the kids running. It's always lovely to have people doing things. This one is people doing things, and the thing, if you like, is that there's a poster saying, in no uncertain terms, "In Paris we say hello without touching," in your face, like. And I mean, they're saying it in a soft way. I'm exaggerating, but it's still it's a pretty grim message, isn't it? Especially for French and Latin type people, who it's all bisous, hugs, mwah mwah, and Americans as well. Are big huggers, more than the French actually. And there it is. Things have changed. So the thing, as I was saying, the thing is that contrasts with a lady who is a homeless lady, or at least she's spending most of her time in the street, an older lady, being cared for, getting some tender loving care from someone who has decided that no, I do touch. I'm going to do whatever I'm doing. Maybe she's giving her a massage or cutting her hair, or just doing something. And I imagine that she's, maybe she's a neighbour, but who lives inside, who, couldn't bear to see that lady on the street and wanted to, you can see her stuff, these cases here. She's not going anywhere, that's her stuff there. So that's one of those type of photographs. And this was the last one. So this is, I do a self-portrait every 10 shots, and I encourage you to do something similar. Creative self-portrait. Always has to be reasonably creative, totally different to anyone you've ever taken before. It's a challenge. And this isn't a recent one, to be honest. I've got a backlog of photographs, and every now and then I dip in. I'm always excited to publish my newest ones, but sometimes old ones, which are just as, I'm just as happy with as the new ones, sometimes they get forgotten. So every now and then I go back and take one from a few months ago. So here it is. This is that one, and so I do it every 10 days. So each chapter is 9 photographs. So next chapter, there's no me. There's no perturbing self-portrait. So you can either cry into your cereal, or you can celebrate and jump for joy. It's up to you. And don't know what to say about that, you know. A very, very early painting. From the days I'd literally just picked up paints and thought, I wonder what would happen if I put that there. This little thing that says hope was when I came back from Greece, having gone there to get married and divorced. And I guess that was a word that was important for me at that time. And it's still with me. And I've still got it. I've still got hope, folks. And this is a book that is... I like to include books in my self-portraits because they add to the story. They say something. And that's my little bookmark. Have I got an example? Oh, by the way, let me tell you something exciting. For some, I'm going to send these off. Let me show you what I'm about to send off. I better blow this up. It's so big. It's a big Gaudi. I've got a big Gaudi to show you. Okay, here we go. These are about to be sent off. Nice French stamps. That one's going to Ruth. Infinity squared symbol on there. I wonder what they could be. Well, there are infinity squared puzzle packs. 18 of them are going off today, and I'm gonna be doing probably another 18 soon. So it was about time I got my finger out. So there it is. It's quite a slim thing, but you can see there's something in there. And there's a bunch of fun little things in there, and I'm sending those off tonight. About time. Some people have been waiting for months. You know, artists, and you know, when the muse strikes, it ain't always when you want it to, and sometimes you just don't have time. So that's the artist's journey, which we're all on. We're all on the artist's journey, and I would like to accompany you on that journey, and I would like you to accompany me on that journey so that we can create and produce some amazing stuff together so that we can feel great that we're producing original stuff, because I think that's something that fundamentally makes us feel happy as humans. And of course, in my famous cycle, creativity cycle, I'm looking around because I thought I had something relating to that, but I haven't got it near me. I feel that it's very much a cycle. We create and then we share it, and that normally brings pleasure to others, either the thing itself and or the act of sharing is a beautiful thing, and then we learn from that. We learn from what the reactions of people, and that inspires us to create more, or the people that we share our creations with, learn from our creativity, and it inspires them to create. So this is my patented Sab's creativity cycle that I've invented. It isn't really, it's just... Right, and I'm going to show you two more photographs. I'm just going to check your comments and show you my last two photographs, and we're kind of out of here. I have to choose the winners. It might be all of you, because there weren't that many. And I need a theme, a new theme, please. Right, yes, I did talk about the set somewhere else, and as you saw, I'd made a mistake. You didn't tell us in the world where you'd go to take photos. Thanks, Despina. I'd like to go to Rome. Apparently it's like a living museum, and I like the sort of old parts of Paris, so I think if it's more of the same, I'd quite enjoy that. Iceland, as I said, would be interesting. Very amazing, I think, for the scenery. I must admit, I kind of tend towards amazing man-made things as opposed to amazing nature, because amazing nature, you know, you can find amazing mountains everywhere. But I'm thinking like unique buildings, unique carvings in rock, or villages in stone or something. You know, I'm thinking that sort of thing would fascinate me. When the nature is everywhere, you know, we can find nature very often. But these unique man-made things that are just amazing, like going to the island off Easter Island, is it? And seeing those incredible things off the coast of Chile. I mean, it's like thousands of miles off the coast, I think, but Easter, you know, those sort of things would be amazing. Or unique one-off geological phenomena. You know, I remember going to Australia when I was a kid, and we went to the middle of nowhere, and there was this place called Wave Rock, not Ayers Rock. Nobody talks about Wave Rock. It's amazing. this huge rock in the middle of nowhere in the shape of a wave that is breaking. Absolutely stunning. I mean, huge, way, way, way up there above our heads. And probably, a ton of others as well, but they just came to Machu Picchu as well. Published a black and white photo today. Yes, I'm going to show it to you in 1 second. Don't go to bed. Don't go to bed. Lucky everybody. Infinite love from Sab. Oh, right. You could see my brain trying to kickstart itself again there, couldn't you? The things that I'm sending. Well, Despina, you never know. If you happen to take part in a competition a few months ago and never received anything as a winner, you never know what might be in the post. Is she jumping up and down or saying, oh God, another one of those things? You are sending them tonight. No, the post office isn't open, but the letterbox is, I hope. Okay, so here are my latest two. Now this is from a trip to Paris 2 days ago, a sneaky one, and I was hoping I wouldn't get arrested for breaking the curfew or whatever. I was so desperate to get some new photographs, my God. So check these out. Would help if you could see them. Here's one. So there's this place near there's this famous French library. It's called the Bibliothèque Nationale de France. And it's bloody awful. Eyesore. It's almost worse than the Montparnasse Tower. Yeah. And so basically you can see it behind, because this is somebody else's art, right? And you know my philosophy on that. You know my point of view, my stance here is, if you're a street photographer, don't just take pictures of somebody else's art, because, add something to it. You can take pictures of someone else's art and play with it with special apps and stuff. You can do that, that's fine. But I like to add things. I like to give it a taste of, a sense of place. I'm in Paris, it's my thing. So people who know Paris will say, okay, that's that bloody awful library, isn't it? And in between her and the library is the Seine. So it's in a park called Bercy. And I think the buildings actually frame it quite nicely, actually. And you do sort of mellow as you get older, So I don't think it's that the library now, it's become a thing. There comes a point where you've got to stop sort of fighting against it, accept that they're not going to demolish it just because this British guy doesn't really like it that much, and then try and see what you can do with it. And you can use it as a frame for certain subjects. Anyway, in this park, there's a whole row. There must be about 20 of these amazing sculptures. And they're statue sculptures, I don't know what you call them, just amazing. And each one represents a different nationality and culture. They're stunning. I mean, look at this, isn't that incredible? It's bigger than me, and the challenge is to do something original with them. This is what I did. So that's pretty cool. I was walking with someone who knows Paris, and they didn't know this. You want to know Paris? Just ask your friend in Paris. It's not a problem. What's this? Tick, tick, tick. Yes, I heard the cogs of your brain turning. That loud. Made it all the way to Greece. Didn't see that geisha. I saw your meme with it, but didn't notice it. Right, yeah. What meme would that be? Let me just slip over here. Slip into a web page, a Facebook page more comfortable. Yeah, right. This is to advertise my coaching. And it's a new series that I'm doing, again with my photographs. It's more recycling. Recycle, folks. And I decided to do a new, and this is where I see the spelling mistake or something like that, and I'm going to go, your true colours display. Yeah, it's okay. So this is, I decided to be a bit more vocal about my coaching. So I decided to do some memes with words which relate. There's a challenge here, creative challenge. You've got a topic that you want the meme to advertise or to promote, but you've got a picture. So the challenge is to find very few words to link the image with what it is you're trying to promote. And that's what I did there. You can see others in that. I'll just show you a couple more. This is something that Facebook do, whether you like it or not. And they slam a bunch of your kind of random photographs together. This is from the stories thing. I just wanted to show you some of the. It's probably a while ago now. Yeah, so this is me promoting a thing that I'm doing for free. It's a sort of I don't know what you call it. It's a special word when you do things for free. And I know what it is in French. And it's a place where you can go if you just want to have a chat with a friendly listener, or a little bit of coaching, if you like, from a very specific point of view of seeing life, which is quite a very nice one, called the 3 Principles. So I have a few slots in this. I have 3 slots a week, and all the other slots, there's other people, other coaches, and it says I'll promote it a little bit. It's so I offered a few of my images with my words on. I don't know if they'll use them, but I use them. Fuck it, I'm going to use them. So life can seem like this gave me another challenge to express myself, because it was another topic. You see, it wasn't just, I've got a bunch of series of memes, but this one was quite specific. I'm supposed to be promoting this free Zoom room where you can come in for a warm chat, no judgment, that sort of thing. So I had to adapt my words to the image and the purpose. So this one was, life can seem like a non-stop express train. Let's slow things down a little. And what I immediately notice here, coming back to it, seeing it almost as a different person, is that it's a little less clever, a little less poetic than I usually try to be, because I had to target. It had to be more straightforward, not too fancy and trying to be too clever for one's own good. It was really trying to. So basically, you see what I'm trying to say, I think. So that's a cool thing. It's called heartfeltpresence.org. So if ever you fancy just talking, you don't have to have major problems or anything. You can literally just fancy having a chat with someone. And it's quite a new thing. So you're often the only person in the room with the host. So it's really nice. Check it out. Check it out. Just talk about life. Talk about anything. It's really good. I did it this morning. I was sitting there. Had some lady come in after a few minutes. I was on my own. Then some lady came in. It's a Zoom room. She didn't actually put her camera on. She was walking home from somewhere and remembered that this place existed and felt like a chat. And she'd been having some sort of busy thinking about her life. So she just had a chat. And she was walking along. And at some point, she's in the street. She meets this old friend that she hadn't seen for a while. And she said, "Oh, can you hang on a second," to me. And she didn't switch off or leave the room. So I listened to their conversation for about 5 minutes, going, "Oh, and how's your sister? Is she all right? Is her leg okay now?" "Oh, And then at some point they arranged to go running together or walking together. And I'm sort of sitting there thinking, this is fun, isn't it? I also know the results of her blood test, which she was on the way home from. And so it was a kind of a surreal experience. And then she came back and said, "Sorry about that." And I said, "No problem." So anyway, there you go. So Desmond did hear my cogs in my brain turning, which is reassuring. It suggests I do have a brain. Didn't see that geisha. Okay, I think we've had that. Needs a bird. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Perfectly okay without a bird. If I'd wanted there to be a bird in that shot, don't you think there would have been one? Jeez, Chris these days. Or a lamp. For Alice, yeah, okay. Okay, yeah, maybe could have squeezed a lamp and a bird. And pro bono for free. I'm thinking of people who do things for charity, without being paid. Volunteers. Anyway, it doesn't matter. All right. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I could. I don't know if it's pro bono. I don't know. Thanks for that. So there's that, and so that was cool. I was so happy just to be back in Paris, walking around in a park. And this is the last one, folks, and then we'll choose the winners, and go away from here. This is me getting influenced by Despina and her black and white things. So I did this. and I think it came out pretty well in black and white. What makes a cool black and white photograph? Not a busy one, not too much going on, and a lot of geometrical forms are good in black and white. Quite crisp, maybe contrasty lighting, you know, so you can have some quite light stuff and some quite dark stuff. So not sort of mushy grey. And you might wonder what mushy grey looks like when you're looking with your eyes at a landscape, because you probably can't see any. But when you photograph a landscape, like something like a bunch of green grass, green flowers, green trees, brown trunks and stuff, and a sort of darkish mid blue sky, and then there's some concrete in the foreground. Basically, the whole damn thing, when you turn it black and white, comes out as middle grey, and it's unbelievably boring. So what I'm talking about is you need some really white stuff and some really black stuff, or you know, really dark stuff and really light stuff. Turn it black and white, then it's cool. Look at how lucky I was. I had someone wearing a dark jacket. I'm not talking about its colour, you see. The colour is irrelevant. All I want it to be in black and white is dark or light, because there ain't no colour. I was so lucky. I had one person with a white jacket, one person with a black jacket. They both had white shoes. That's good enough for me, you know. And you've got the contrast. You've got black walking next to white, and the image itself is quite contrasty. You've got a lot of detail in these planks, but the lines between them are as good as, you know, as good as, damn it, black. And where the light is shining off the lightest parts, it's as good as, damn it, white. I'm sure there's a nicer expression for that. And you see these little metal tag things here. Well, they reflect the sky, so they turn out pretty much white. But around them, look here in the bottom left, that lovely little cluster of 4 I've just spotted is gorgeous. It's just white surrounded by black lines with little black dots on. Lovely. And then you've got these really impressive receding lines, you know, like that going into the distance, which is pretty cool. And I do have a story about that. Just let me quickly. I vote for Chris. Okay. Hold on. Relax. Breathe. And again, we're not doing the voting yet. I wanted to say, yeah, I walked. I walked along here, obviously. I was behind the camera. Did you guess? That took this shot. And then when I got to here, just in front of where these ladies are going, this guy here, I don't know if you can see, there's a guy here. He approached me. One of them approached me a bit aggressively, and said, "Oh, monsieur." He wasn't wearing a mask, and I don't know what they're. Well, I do know what they're doing. They were smoking joints and probably drinking. And he came up to me pretty close and didn't have a mask on, and he was saying, "Can I see your? I want to see your phone. I want to see your phone." I thought, "Oh, this is a dangerous situation." And basically, he was a bit paranoid because he thought that I'd taken a photograph of him smoking a joint. I don't know what he thought I was going to do with it. So I showed him some photographs that I'd taken without him in it. I tried to show him the ones where he wasn't in it. And he kind of calmed down slightly, but he was a bit aggressive. Probably because he was probably paranoid because of the joint. So that was that as well. My friend was a bit nervous, but I kind of dealt with it reasonably okay. Just didn't want him to get any closer, basically. So that's that. That's my week's thing, and there'll be another 7 next week. Right, I'm going to choose 3 of these, my 3 favourites, to start off with. And please say your favourites, guys. Say your favourites before we say goodnight at the end of the hour. So just choose a favourite. We know you love them all. You're not going to hurt anybody. Like the one of Alice there, Alice's pumpkins. The cat's cute from Jean. Lovely ones from Angela. Oh God, so many good ones, aren't there? There's always good ones. Chris is messing around there. So go on, Chris, tell us what this thing is that you've wrapped around. Come on, just tell us before we go. Be nice. Okay, so I mean, there's almost enough to choose all of them, but I'll just choose 3 right off the top of my head. Love this shell thing. It's a classic, but it's sweet, isn't it? Maybe I'll choose that one. Love the cat, so cute, and the cat sticking its head through. It's kind of a double frame, isn't it? Because it's framing itself, its head there, and that is framed by the banister. And is there another one here? I'll go for Alice's tiles there. The cat sticking its head through, also framed by the plant on the bottom, you know, to an extent. Love the shell, and I won't choose Chris because she hasn't told me what. Hang on. Space cherries, 70s style. Yeah, great. So Desmond loves those space cherries. Chris says Alice's pumpkins, chitty chitty bang bang. Chris says cat. Lady of few words. Great. Okay. Well, I'm going to go for. I mean, I like them. If I had to choose three, I'd go for the. Oh, I do like those ones of Chris as well. Maybe this one from Chris. One of these from Chris. If she tells me that it isn't really a cave, she didn't climb halfway up the Grand Canyon into a cave, doing backflips all the way, and the shell thing. I love Despina's black and white one as well, though. Just irritates me. I can't work out how it's been taken. And the cat I love, and Chris's pumpkins. I mean Alice's pumpkins. Okay, so it's kind of random. I took your suggestion, says Chris. What? Of little words, few words, shot through aluminium foil. Okay, we've got to go back and check them now. Shooting through aluminium foil. Did I make that suggestion? Wow. What a great suggestion. Yeah, that is great, isn't it? There you go. Grab some aluminium foil, twist it around a bit. It's out of focus, so it can look like all sorts of stuff. And there's another one. Fantastic. Good stuff. And we're getting towards the end of the hour. Great stuff. So people haven't fallen off yet. So thanks everyone for watching. Is there anything else I need to say? Yeah, a word from my sponsors again. Let me just remind you of this. I'll do it very quickly, on my shows, because I've got to got to encourage people to go on it. If you know anyone that you think would be interested in this, by the way, if you're a photographer and you've done the masterclass, but if you haven't done the masterclass, it doesn't matter, because you could bring a photographic project on this. If you're interested in getting amazing at creative stuff and producing creative stuff, that is part of it as well. So you can bring a photographic project on this as well. If you know anyone you think would be interested in this, then check out the link, check out the page, which is a pretty amazing page. It's a long page, lots and lots of interesting stuff there to tell you about this masterclass. And I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do the show on Thursday with words, or I might have to move it slightly. I've got something that's come up. I think I need to go into Paris. So I might play around with that timing. So thanks everyone for watching. We haven't got a theme for next week. What's it going to be? Oh, paper roll. Chris is saying that another one was a paper roll. My picture's on a computer. Okay, great. Thanks for putting us out of our misery. And what should we have as a theme? Anyone? Can you give me a quick theme thing before the end of the hour? We've got 2 minutes. 2 minutes before we say goodbye. What can we have as next week's theme? Maybe make it one that got as many people as the shoes was amazing, the rust was amazing. Can we have something that could get a lot of people contributing? What could that be? Pat's voting for Chris. Animals, says Despina. Despina says animals, okay. Could it be, does it have to be real animals, or could it be ornament animals as well? And the thing with that is, you wouldn't just take a picture of an ornament animal, you see. Or I guess we could do something. You could try, really impressive pet photography. Or, okay, let's face it, really impressive ornament photography or statue photography. I like the idea of animals, insects, okay. Pat says, I vote for Chris. Either is great, but I particularly like the cherry one, okay. Holiday lights. Oh, Diane, that's a good idea. If people can get out and if they're in a place with holiday lights. Yeah, I mean, that would be ideal. What about if we left that until next week? And then, we could have holiday lights in mind. What about that? Holiday lights in mind. And we can do it next week, because that's even closer to Christmas, if people do Christmas sort of things. Christmas, Christmas. Not everybody celebrates Christmas, so, got to be a little bit careful with that. Cups is good. Mugs is good, isn't it? You'd have to do something creative with it, though. I've got 1 minute. Holiday decorations. Okay, let's do something like holiday decorations or Christmas lights next week. Is that possible? Yeah, it's still pre-Christmas, isn't it? We can do that next week, and it might even cover the Christmas period. Hang on, it's the 8th. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Okay, we've still got time. All right, so I'm going to go for, what should we go for? We'll go for, okay, what about animals, and which can include not real animals, but try to make them photographically interesting. Okay, something like that. We'll go for that. Does that sound good? All right, animals. It could be pet photography, and you know, pet portraiture is a thing with a capital T. So you can be as demanding with pet portraiture as with human portraiture. And if you like, you could take an ornament and you could try and photograph it as though it were a, you know, a real person, like throwing the background out of focus and stuff. So we'll go for that. We'll go for animal photography, and but could include not real animals, if in case you don't have a handy animal, like I don't at the moment. My son doesn't seem to be around, so I'll have to find something else. Could this be an option? Bye bye everybody. See you again. Same time, same place, maybe next week. Bye for now. Take care.